Welcome back to Single Player Party. Alright, we're here with this week's Kickstarter Roundup. And so I'm going to show you what's crowdfunding right now. And the first thing we're going to go into is this bad boy right here, which is not on Kickstarter. It's actually called a crowd sale, and it's run by the Game Crafter. I am so excited about this game. I really love Jason Glover's designs. He is Grey Gnome Games. Whew. Oh, my fingers are cut off right here. Oh, and I even hit the mic. Okay, well, I'm all sparkly because, to get the transparency, I'm in a corner in a room making this ghetto, doing it however I can. But let's talk about games. So, Iron Helm is the big daddy version of this game, and this one is called Tin Helm, which is going to fit in one of those mint tin capsules and is going to pack a lot of bang for its buck. The Game Crafter has been refining the way they make things, and they actually, a little while ago, I remember them announcing that they were making cards specifically to fit inside these little tins. And so I think a lot of them have taken advantage of this. Some of you may have backed Doom Machine, which is a game I really want to get. I'm super bummed I missed out on that one. That was up just before I really started paying attention to Kickstarters a lot again and trying to give you guys this. If you're new to this episode of what I do here, I am just going through researching all of the Kickstarters and some various other crowdfunding things that are up that have been up since my last video, which was 1 week ago. And you can see all along the top bar, those are all the things I have in store to show you today. And this is to get you quickly to the campaigns that you might care about. There's links below in the description, so it takes you right to the timestamp where you'll hear me ramble either long or short and tangent many times about this. But I'll share a lot of insights on Kickstarter. I've ran Kickstarters. I've backed I think I'm over 150 or something. You check the first episode of this series and we look at my profile real quick. And so just a lot of feedback from me. Most of you are experienced buyers. Not telling you anything new, but just in case you're new to backing Kickstarters, the big takeaway here is I get you links straight to the stuff that is solo playable, so you don't have to go through all the STL files, all the zines, all of the multiplayer games, and all of the RPGs that are on Kickstarter. If you don't worry about those, there's a lot of stuff, and it's all good, but we want to know what's solo. I mean, my budget's already tight, let alone the fact that for me, solo right now is kind of mandatory. So I am backing this. I'm not signed in right now, but I am backing this, and I'm also picking up a couple other things for a game I have of his, which is not in front of me right now. I'd have to dig down and make a lot of noise, but I got Desolate right down here in my stack of games that I'm currently playing, and so I'm picking up 2 of the booster packs for that, and I'll show you what those are. So now that I've tangented 3 times and didn't start this video appropriately, that's what you get here. I am going to dive into the Game Crafter again and Tin Helm here. So the Game Crafter, the way it does it is it's great. Now, Game Crafter tends to be on the expensive side for a game for what you get. What they make is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of Game Crafter made games, and the quality isn't top tier, but they're doing lower print runs, and the quality keeps improving. That they're constantly improving. Like, it's a great company, and I love how they keep innovating. So I am a bit of a fanboy, but I got to be objective about it. So you get a little bit of a lower quality and a bit of a higher price point, but they bring to life games that would otherwise never be able to exist. That's the bottom line. That is huge. So hopefully I've actually come here for a lot of my I had them print some of my prototypes for like Dead at 17, and so I used them for I think some Starcade, them and drive-through cards. So I've used both, and I think I've bought one from each at certain points for the same game. And so I do like the Game Crafter, and there's a lot of tools, there's a lot of information, and it's all there for you if you can find it and you know where you're looking. And so they do these things called crowd sales, and instead of giving you a Kickstarter with a bunch of stretch goals, they give you instant savings. All it takes is one backer and you get instant savings. And then for everybody else that comes aboard, the price goes down and down and down as they improve their economies of scale, which is just awesome. And the sale you get for the crowd sale, you'll never get that. It's always going to be the best deal, unless they're just not getting a lot of backers. Because if you click on that crowd sale link, there's going to be a few of them that only have 1 or 2 backers. And so, maybe that game down the road might be the deal of the day, 20% off, 30% off. But as you'll see when I scroll down here on 10 Helm, you're not going to beat the savings on this. So you got to jump in. There is time left. I'm getting in a little early. So there's over a week left on this. Jason, the designer of this, does the art himself and the design himself, and he's been around for a while. So Grey Gnome Games is celebrating its 10th anniversary. I actually kickstarted his first game back on Kickstarter. It was Zogar's Gaze, which I still have. I still have that, and so it was one of my first Kickstarters that I backed 10 years ago. Or 9 years ago, or whenever he launched that. So that one was 2012, 2013, maybe 2011, something like that. And so I've got that. As you can see right now, 681 backers. If you are even on the fence about this, I suggest you just get it. It's great. True solo. So this is a true solo game. It's a dungeon crawl. And so I have Desolate I've been playing a lot, and it's kind of like a space station, work your way off as you power up an escape pod. This game is, I have not played Iron Helm, which I really want to get, but is just a little outside my budget. And something he did mention on Facebook is that he's working on another expansion for Iron Helm, which may get crowdfunded in a year or so. And why that was a big deal is they actually put out a poll during these crowd sales. He could put 3 items up to be sold. And so I voted for Iron Helm because I wanted to pick that up here because I knew a lot of people would jump on cheap. But even though that got the most votes, it seemed, he went with Gate, which I think was a smart choice because it is also a 10 game. And we'll see that down below too. I'm taking my time with this one. Just look at this art. Look at the art right there. It's awesome. And I love the layout. I love his pictures. His intro video is just him talking in front of his library of games. It's good stuff. I reached out to him. This is the first time I've reached out to somebody while doing this show, and I did get some. I asked him if there's anything specifically he wanted to mention. What I love is how indie this dude is, and I don't get a lot of views on these episodes, but I'm featuring this one. This is number 1. This is my highest recommendation on here, and anytime I'm actually recommending something that's coming with a huge personal bias, so take it with a grain of salt. He admittedly loves the fantasy theme. I love the fantasy theme. It's a pocket game. You're never going to get a deal like this. So he wanted to make a truly portable solo dungeon crawler experience, and the challenge was for him to just design as much as he could into this little package, and he's really proud of the results. And he's also excited about how the dungeon cards work. So it's got a cool little mechanic. I say watch the videos, and there's some GIFs, and it kind of explains the way you'll flip a card and you reference other things. Looks great. And so he said that the final thing he mentioned when I reached out to him was that the way the dungeon cards work is that it makes each level feel unique, which is going to add to replay value. I know that there's, I believe, 4 characters and 4 classes, and so on the back of the characters are the classes, so you got 12 combinations. Just look how cool the art design is on this. I really like it. So we're already blasted past 500 backers, so we're getting this 1180. And then if we can hit, I think it's super doable. We're not even a week in, and it's already 34% off. Now, even if you're not interested in this one, try to share it. I'm very rarely going to ask for that, but I think that this one should be shared far and wide. Get another price drop. Let's max out the savings. Let's get 1,000 backers. It's going to be worth it. Everybody's going to be stoked. I'm even picking up the game mat in mind, so I'm one of those 239 people for the game mat. I am not one of the 293 people for Gate because I already have Gate. I did buy that a couple of months ago. So you can see, look at, this is the game I backed. The Kickstarter one is a different cover, so mine looks very different than this cover. But this is his 10 years of making games, and it's awesome. So he's got a tutorial and a playthrough, so come watch those, check it out. Is what's cool about Kickstarter too, or Kickstarter, yeah, we already know what we like about Kickstarter, but Game Crafter is you get to see every item that comes in, like it's already done, like every item that comes with like just a total breakdown of, like, it's not even just like that little summary of components that a lot of other games will get you. This is like, here's every component and exactly what they look like. So that is something cool about the Game Crafter. Look how cool it looks on the mat. And then I think when you've got the mat and you don't need to use the tracker cards, they like flip over and make like a little scene, which is pretty cool. So I'm leading with this. This is my recommendation of the week. I'm super excited about this, and it's gonna get made. It's done. There is no risk here. It's gonna get made. Game Crafter's making it. It will ship soon, so you don't have to wait a year for it to come. And like I said early on, you just got to be honest. I'm going to be totally honest about all this stuff. With the Game Crafter, their quality has gone up, but you do sacrifice a little bit of quality. Let's be honest, you're going to get these generic dice. It doesn't matter. I'm playing Desolate. I don't think about the generic dice that come with it. I just roll them, fighting aliens, get my power cubes, getting out of the place. And so once you click on the buy, I don't know if it's going to make me sign in. Yeah, so it's going to make me sign in. I'm not going to sign in right now. But it gives you an add-on of all of his items so that you can add on anything you want. And when I bought this, when I pledged, I bought the 2 like little booster packs for Desolate. So it's a great time to pick up other things, combining some shipping, and I think shipping kind of keeps going up no matter what you buy from them, which, I mean, that just weighs more. They're small. Game Crafter's a small company too, so you're getting the savings jumping in on this crowd sale. So please come and check this one out, and if you are even on the fence about it at all, go for it. Definitely go for it. So let me close this one down, close that down. And then now we're on to the Kickstarter stuff. So the first one I have for you is the Tales from the Red Dragon Inn. Now, the one thing I couldn't figure out about this is if you already own a bunch of the Red Dragon Inn stuff, which is not solo play, there might be like fan-made rules or whatever, but I didn't go looking for them. I just know it's been a staple for a long time. Cheers, coffee. I do love the art. I've always wanted to play Red Dragon Inn. I just never had the group for it, so I've never played it. But this is awesome. It's kind of like, it almost feels like the box is like Gloomhaven light, I would say. It's expensive, but this looks so cool from people who have a track record of delivering games. So the risk here, I say there's almost no risk if you're interested in this game. The problem here is, what I should have mentioned also at the beginning of the video, is there is a lot of heavy hitters again this week, and we're going to keep seeing this, I think, all the way through maybe November, when some big things will launch. However, they're going to struggle. They're not going to do as well. So we'll still see some big things, but November, December, we're going to see a lot less. And then boom, middle of January through February, we're going to see a lot of Kickstarters coming back into the fold. And I think Cool Mini or Not has already announced that, they haven't announced what it is, but it'll be their 50th Kickstarter. I think they do 2 or 3 a year. I don't know. To get to 50 as fast as they have, they do a lot. But they're not launching that one until they said spring. And so watch when they launch things. Ultimately, I think that they're one of the few companies that can get away with launching whenever they want, and it's really not going to hurt the bottom line of their Kickstarter. But this one's, it's always had kind of like, this cartoonish art style, which is cool. I mean, I like the art style a lot. This comes with minis, awesome, and looks like you like level up your stuff. I think this is a cool game. This would definitely be high on my list if I, had a bigger budget. They got all the reviews, all the stuff I mean, this is a fully complete Kickstarter. You're gonna get a lot of Kickstarter exclusive stuff. I saw in the stretch goals a lot of that. Look at all these cool little things you get in the box. So I don't know if so perusing this, two things stood out to me. I don't know if any of the prior ones, I've watched the video, kind of read through this. I don't know if you already own a bunch of Red Dragon Inn stuff, if it's compatible at all with this game. If it was, I mean, that would be huge. I don't know if it is. I couldn't find a fast answer. I want a fast answer. If I can't find the answer on here within a couple of minutes of me looking, this is where I'm going to come to gripe about that kind of stuff, because there are things that need to jump out at you. And why I like looking up this stuff for you guys is, man, I have to sift through a lot of stuff to see if it's soloable, if it's got a solo, stretch goal or whatever. A lot of people do not make it obvious. And maybe a lot of you are just following like a Facebook feed and hear about stuff with hype. I'm trying to give you the complete package. So down below in the description, everything on Kickstarter that's soloable. Like I said, I always want to put this caveat in every episode. GameFound is just straight games. They're already in Pledge Manager, or they're being funded, and I think they have a solo button you can click to find there. So, I'm not going to provide you much value just going through what's already on GameFound, because you just go to that website and like I say, I don't think that maybe I'm organizing it poorly, but I don't think they do a good job of specifying what's in the Pledge Manager and what's actively being fundraised. So if it's already in Pledge Manager, the con might be you've missed out on something that was for backing during the backing period only. The pro is maybe it's closer to delivering. I mean, that's huge. I backed ISS Vanguard, and I'm still seeing tons of advertisements for it. So I'm like, when is that game coming out? It's probably going to be a very long time, which is fine. But man, that thing looks good. So check off the tangent on that one. The other thing besides whether or not it's compatible with stuff that already exists for this property, the brand, is I saw this solo mode was a stretch goal. So I don't know if this is a solo mode. Otter and Goat is just certain extra bonus things, and it was already delivering a lot of solo experience. Like I said, I couldn't find that information quickly, so that is it's gonna slow me down here a little bit. So I don't know. It's one of those things, was solo tacked on at the end. That's always a concern for us. Like, is this built with solo in mind, or was this built? But you can play it on Tabletop Simulator. I think the solo is. I have a feeling the solo is baked into this, so I feel like that's just bonus solo content there that they're getting for the stretch goals. Either way, I really want to back that one. That one looks cool. So this is a roll and write trick or treat, and it's pretty cheap. I mean, you can just get the PDF for cheap. This is going to deliver in time for Halloween. Otherwise, they'll send you these 3 really nice color laminated with the Dyson tokens you need, along with, they said they'll send you some candy. So this one is very straightforward. If you like roll and writes, I'll probably come back and back this one just for the PDF level. I'm on a big roll and write kick. So definitely that one is cool if you're into roll and writes. So here I am with another one of these war token games, which, like I said, I've got like 2 in storage, 2 on my shelf of opportunity, and I haven't played them yet. But if you are, this picture sums it up. This is what they look like. They all got these little tokens. They're very war. They're all built for solitaire, which is cool. So I don't know if you're a solo player that's neglected these. Maybe you're looking for one of these. This one seems like it's slightly cheaper than most of the ones we've been seeing on here. Most of them have been around the $70, $80, $90. This one's at $65 for, it's actually 2 games for one Kickstarter. $65 if you're just going to pick up one, or $100 for both of them. So it's Save Afghanistan and it's Save Vietnam. So these I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on, especially until I can get some expertise and kind of like maybe play some of the ones I have, find out which ones not are necessarily good, but maybe like I can speak to with a little more authority and feedback. This one is kind of cool. It's called Unfamiliar. It's already funded. It's got 80 backers. I think the risk is low on this one. But it seems like the person is a good writer. So it's a well-written Kickstarter page. It's just completely devoid of any artwork, which for me is just a bummer. So they talk about the artist. They talk about having some of that stuff lined up. I think the risk is high, but when you factor in the price, it's not like you're gonna lose a lot or whatever. So it's a tarot card game and it's got 1 to 4 players. It seems story heavy, so if you're looking for something very story driven, you want to take a chance on somebody. I think this is their second created. Let's see what they're created first. So they did a little zine, 137 backers for 2 to 4 players. So I don't know. I won't be backing this one at this time, but I think that some of the art should have been displayed. Something needs to catch our eye. I think a lot of people are going to pass on this one. It's being fun. It's going to be funded. So definitely, if you're looking for something tarot-based storytelling, so story-driven, might be something to throw your money at. This one's interesting. It's a deck builder. A name I don't even want to try to pronounce. He says it a bunch of times in the video. But there's a lot of videos at the end here which are going to be good for telling you, walking you all the way through all the rules for multiplayer, and then also for solo, and then there's a playthrough, which I think he says it needs to be played to it needs to be experienced for if you have like any amount of interest in it. And it doesn't have a tabletop simulator, so I feel like if that was true, that you would really want to have like people play this and fall in love with it, then you would have it on a tabletop simulator. So I don't know. Okay, so one of the things I really like about this one is I like the art style. The graphic design is really cool. I like the elements. It seems like a pretty straightforward deck builder where you've got like the biro in the middle, and then you're gonna do a lot of things. It's got like, if you think Magic the Gathering, like, the 5 colors, this has got kind of like a 4-color thing going on. And if you're really itching for a deck builder, this might be what you're looking for. The 1 to 2 player level, only $20. So that's not that bad. I mean, that's kind of, I feel like, a fair price for deck builders. And he built it with a true solo mode. So deck builder, solo mode, great graphic design. And he seems like game designer that really wants to get a little crunchy with his design and be have all the to say that somebody doesn't have the math worked out would be rude, but like this guy seems like he's got the math worked out. He wants it to kind of be like that next level. It seems like a good game design. So deck building, futuristic, pretty cool. This one I really am interested in. It looks, I I really like the look of this one. So it's Secrets of the Vibrant Isle, and it's an interesting sales method for this one. So it's only got the one tier, and so for this Explorer tier, $15 gets you the PDF and also gives you a coupon to buy the soft cover at cost, which is pretty cool. So I want to do more of these. We're kind of play through like storybooks and stuff. This one looks like it's got a real RPG feel to it. When I was watching this video here, it seems like, you know, you got like a pretty fleshed out character sheet and stuff. So it's not just like especially it's not like the super old ones where you pulled out the book cover, or not the book cover, but the bookmark, and you've got like 3 stats. And I mean, I love those old D&D ones, but you know, it seems like a true RPG. And I like the art style. It's kind of minimalist, but a simple art, simple design, but like the impact was good. I thought it does a really good job of you know, kind of like looking good without too much effort. I don't know how to say it, but I like it because I know that art style. I know the art and the design isn't going to be for everybody, and that's fine. But I think it speaks to me. There's some really cool illustrations and art pieces. This one, I'm going to click remind me. That is one that I would like to back if I get a chance. So moving on to an interesting twist. It says jigsaw puzzles with a twist. So these Vizzles, visual puzzles, Vizzles. So you do the puzzle, and then it's also probably like a look and find, solve the mystery kind of thing. So I don't know if you're getting like escape room level like puzzles, but you get the puzzle and more puzzles. I think it's awesome. So you do the puzzle, then there's clues. So you're going to be looking at stuff, and I mean, we're all going to be looking for Macro Micro City now that that's won some major awards and looks awesome. And so, I mean, bringing the adult version of like Where's Waldo, search and find, clues, puzzles kind of things. Maybe this is the next wave. Like we've had, you know, all these crazy waves of stuff, and maybe that's just the next thing. So 265 people are backing. It's already at $10,000. So it's gonna be funded. It's got 13 days to go. If you like, I mean, even if you just like puzzles, maybe it's not too bad. I don't know what it costs to get both of them. It is an international shipping, so there's still an early bird. There's still 32 more hours on an early bird, so something worth pointing out on this one, I guess. $22 for a puzzle. I don't know what a puzzle, like a just a puzzle cost you at Target, $15. This for a little bit more is going to give you a game with the puzzle. So I think it looks really cool. Definitely cool on that one. This is a reprint with an expansion of Roll Camera, which seems to be a pretty well received game, and it's already like blowing up. It's doing so great. I really would like to get this game, but again, can't pull the trigger on it. But I totally like. It's got a great insert where everything snaps into this little case. That's really awesome. And then it does have the click shell for the for the box where it feels like the movie marker. And the expansion adds some game modes too, and it's like a dice worker placement, and I don't know. This one looks really cool. Over 2 million possible in-game stories. That's fun. So it's a little, you know, cartoony art if you're into that. So this has got a lot of info. It's already a successful game, so this is just a reprint. It's probably a little overkill on the information here, considering, you know, the risks are probably a lot lower. The risks on this fall back to just normal manufacturing in the time of COVID, delivery. Like, it's going to be out of this person's control, but they already know what they're doing. They've already delivered this game the first time. So just an awesome story, awesome game. That one's cool. So here we have Mythwind, which is absolutely exploding. It's hitting, thousands of backers, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It looks super cool. I really like it. It's got a 72-hour timer to get this early bird. So jump on this if you can. Here's a clue. I can finally provide a little bit more value for watching this. I saw somewhere where it might be just in the FAQ. Click on the FAQ. If you back at the $1 level and you're still within that 72-hour period, you will still be eligible to get that through the pledge manager. So you can even back now for $1 and you can lock in that value right there. Now, I don't know if they're blowing my rule that I've established on this show where you can't provide that content and just give it to the early adopters. They need to. I couldn't find it. Maybe as I scroll down, it'll jump out at me. That needs to be available to people who miss out on the 72-hour thing. If they have to pay a little extra after, then so be it. But you can't just limit that. I mean, if people just missed out on the 70. Okay, it's a little bit of a call out because they've been advertising everywhere. I've seen advertisements for this for at least a month now. So yeah, they can say, well, we've been getting the word out. I don't remember them saying anything about the 72-hour thing in any of the advertisements I saw. So, but I think that needs to be available after for $5, $10 as an add-on. If you miss the 72-hour thing, I really don't like the 72 hours to just to get, this. I don't care how small this is. I don't care how small it is. It creates bad feelings to backers. And so everybody's happy now. All these thousands of people backing all the way until October 8th are all happy. We're going to be happy. But anybody after that, when I come across this, if I didn't do this or somebody else, I finally, was back from a vacation or a 1-week hiatus from Facebook or wherever, people talking about this, I came back and missed out on this, it would bother me. And I know it would bother a lot of people. It's going to bother a lot of people. So I don't see anything on here about them correcting that. If you are from Mythwind, if you're from one of these guys, if you're one of the 6 people that end up watching this video and you're Brendan McCaskill, I hope you have plans to throw this on there as an add-on for some money after. I mean, you're going to make more money. You're going to, throw it up there for $5 for everybody who finds it after day 3. I know I harp on this. I'm showing you this guys early. What if you found this video? What if you relied on my videos and you only watch them 4 days after I post this? You're going to miss out on it. So, I guess watch my videos earlier. If that's the case, since you found me. Anyways, this game's kind of a no-brainer. It's a little expensive, but I think this one it's got the potential to go evergreen. This one's got potential to be a really cool game, and the way that the game board sets up, not the way it looks, but the discovery of this like city building thing that's happening here, you got a lot more going on your player tableau, whatever. But I kind of feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, comment below. It could be my first comment on any of these videos. It kind of feels like it might be a better version of Seventh Continent, because the discovery aspect of this, I'm wondering what the replay value is, like how much there is to discover. But it sounds really cool. It sounds like the way that they designed the game trace too. Let me say this before I move on, because this is kind of a no-brainer. You're gonna go through here. There's a lot of content to digest, a lot of information to look at, and I think this is an insta buy. So I really like this one. I'm gonna recommend it even though I'm not backing it, but I think this one looks really cool. Something that they're doing with those trays that is awesome is that I think you can just kind of snap them closed and pause the game where it's at. That sounds cool. Like, I know some people will have a table where you can just kind of leave things out, but a lot of us don't. A lot of us can't just freeze the game and leave it on a table. You got kids, you got cats, you got whatever. You got people coming over. You can't just have a game out all the time. This sounds like it's like very pausable. Like you can just hit that pause button, kind of like it says very easy setup, like jump right in, jump right out. So that could be a really big selling point on a game that you can sit down and play for 30 minutes up to like hours and hours and hours. I love the art style on this, and the video is really cool. So Mythwind's going to be one of those big ones this week, and it's already going nuts. I mean, they're already at $750,000. That's nuts. So this one's kind of creating a little controversy. I'm seeing people debating whether to get Fractal here or get Voidfall. And so, kind of interesting. Voidfall kind of looks cooler to me, and a lot of people are saying, well, you know, the designer of Voidfall, like that studio is kind of very well established or well liked, or they personally like it, and so they're kind of leaning towards that because of the people designing it. This game looks awesome. 4X game. I mean, multiple factions. So much information here that I love this art style. That is such a cool image. It's kind of evoking some Star Wars vibes. I love it. This looks awesome. Look at the graphic design of this cover. That's so cool. Now, I think one of the things that is an actual negative about this one is you have to have the expansion to play solo. So like Zaya Legends of a Drift System, you have to have the Embers expansion to play solo. So maybe one of those situations, but that does increase the cost. It lowers some of the playability. Something else I read, I don't know if it's true or not because I haven't been able to sift through all of this, but if you can't play the campaign mode solo, there's like solo play, but it's not to play through the story or campaign or something specific like that. So gonna have to come and do a little bit of your own research here, but this one is definitely competing dollar for dollar. Well, not dollar for dollar, but this one is definitely going to be competing with Voidfall. I mean, it's just, there's no way around it. There's similar 4X large space scope games on Kickstarter at the same time. If Fractal could have waited until Voidfall finished funding, they might have done a little bit better. I don't know. That's just what I see so far, but I mean, it looks super cool. It's already funded. So, you know, if you can get both and you love this kind of games, you're going to get both. So it doesn't matter, but I'm not getting either, but if I was, I'd pick Voidfall. Here we have MindMonsters, and I cannot tell if this is a solo game or not. I don't believe it's going to fund, but I think it might be solo, and I could have left it off, but it just kind of jumped out as interesting to me as it deals with some mental health issues. So I thought that was kind of cool. Hopefully they can get this together and like deliver the information a little bit better. The graphic design's a little muddled. I feel like the information's a little cluttery to me. You know, for that grab you kind of thing, the video's pretty good, but like the page, we don't really want to know your story. We want to see, like, you know, it's boom, give me the game, boom, give me what the game does and who it's for. Like, I don't know the ages on this. I don't know the player count. I think I did end up seeing at the bottom it is 1 to 3 players. It is 1 to 3 players. So I take back that it might not be solo. It does have a solo aspect. I still don't think it's gonna fund, but I like the idea of what's happening here. So maybe something to put on your radar if that sounds interesting to you. The Big Pig game, I didn't even have time. I did not look to what this is, but I just know one piggy can play it. So I don't know anything about this one. It's got snack tokens. Sounds great. 3 food boards, character cards. This one I'm basically just providing the link for. It's got cutesy art. It's gonna fund. I think it's gonna fund. What kind of price point are we talking about here to get involved in the game? $50 for the game. We'd have to go down and look at all the components. Seems expensive for kind of what you're getting in this box. Kind of feels a little expensive. You get a lot of cards, but it's like the Splendor box, you know, you don't get a lot of stuff. You can just pack it all in the corner. So I don't know. Maybe there's value there. Looks like they've, made another game. This one I'm providing the link for. The Big Pig game. So take you straight to it. You can check it out if this captures your eye at all. This one is Godsland. I think it was kind of like Risk, like a little bit of Risk looking on here, but you've got way more stuff going on like a player board. So interesting, very classic style of art, and this speaks to a lot of people who play, might want some like more Greek games. It's got miniatures, which is awesome. It just didn't jump out at me, but in a special edition, yeah. The miniatures are colored, so I don't know if that's like they don't want you to paint them. They do want you to paint them. I don't think this one's going to fund. Maybe they didn't have like a pre-marketing game for it, but 22 backers, and I think it just launched today, but that's really low. They're asking for 60,000. This to me feels like a cancel, relaunch, let's clean it up, let's get some marketing going, and launching a Kickstarter like this can be free advertising. It's it's got it out there the first time. Let's see if it can come back, build a little bit of an audience, and relaunch stronger. This one is an expansion for the Phantom card game. The Phantom card game already delivered, and here's an expansion for it. So if you got that game and you like it, here's the expansion for it. And I believe, yeah, you can get in for the base game and the expansion. Limited to 1,000, which is interesting. Maybe that's all they have left in their supply. I know on a future Kickstarter I'm going to launch for one of my games, I'm going to have to limit the supply because I'm gonna sell some of the stock I have along with expansion. Kind of the way they're doing this. So they're not running out of it fast, so there's no rush to it. But it's already funded. Looks like it's found an audience. I like this. I like the graphic design of the title. So this one's pretty cool. This shredded card thing kind of bugs me. Like, oh, why are these cards ripped? But yeah, I don't know. It's already out there, so there's going to be plenty of information I think you'll be able to find about the base game, or you may already have it, and there you go, more. So next one that I saw is a golf game, which I feel like you either like golf games or you don't. I haven't found a golf game that plays solo that I like yet. So I actually have had a couple come through my collection. This one is a little more interesting. I like the way that you build this board. So I actually want to get like one of the Frisbee golf games. I like playing Frisbee golf, and so I know there's a few really small press Frisbee golf games, and that's kind of the next one I want to try. But if you are looking for a golf game, this one, I actually like the art. I like the art style. I like the way that you're building out the fairways and this whole course. So it's kind of cool. And then this was the last solo game that I had. Rock Band is solo RPG story generator. And the generator word at the end kind of trips me up, but I guess you do play through and like garage band era, like making a band and are playing the RPG. So they only want $200, 5 backers. It can easily hit the goal. There's some information here, not much, but what was the $5 just for the ebook to play through a solo. This will probably end up on drive-through RPG. Might be able to get it there later, so hopefully it funds and they can finish it or whatnot. But that's the last solo one I have today. So moving on to the honorable mention, I thought this game looked cool. So this is Don't Go In There. The game folds out to its own dice tower. It's got glow-in-the-dark dice with these creepy ghost faces on it, which is kind of cool. I like the art. I don't know. I like the way that this packs up. This is a cool game. And then you get all these cool little ghost meeples and those cool dice and some creepy art, and it's cartoony. So I'm all about cartoony scary. So I like the way this one looks. Again, not solo, but honorable mention because I really like the way that this one looks, and it is funding. I don't believe you'll get it in time for Halloween, but you know, everybody's in that frame of mind, so it's hard. I know some people have done Kickstarters for Christmas games in July so that you'll actually have it at Christmas, but it's got that weird feeling where you're like, oh, I'm not in the Christmas mood right now, I don't want to back this. So I don't know how those have played out. That'd be an interesting thing to research. So Don't Go In There. That's my honorable mention. That's non-solo. And then I have 2 quick accessories. This is a very expensive pimp your game library, actually. So these are expensive. Each one of those little books of all those little tokens is like $50 each. But they're, you know, little actually molded pieces, and they're painted and they look super cool, and they're called top shelf tokens. So top shelf with the top shelf price. So they're deluxe. And here's the thing I will say, going very much in their favor, is you buy something like this and then you can, it's not just like you're buying that one game and you might get rid of it. This is something you might buy for your library of games, and then you can use this in 10 to 12 games in your library or more, or you know, less, but you're kind of like amortizing that price over multiple games. So you know, if you know you got 100 games and one of these books applies to like 10 of them, you know, then it was like $5 to upgrade each game if you're gonna hold on to them. Anyways, there's just another way to look at this that, you know, may help you absorb the price. So an interesting accessory, a little expensive, and you can go through and look, you get a lot. I mean, you definitely get a lot of tokens for the price. You get a gross amount of tokens for that price. But yeah, that's a cool accessory. And then I don't think I've featured an STL file yet, but here is an accessory STL file. Look how cool those dice towers look. I mean, you need to have a 3D printer, but this is also not one of my recommendations. This is just the last thing I'm showing you on this video. So I think the dice towers look kind of cool. I mean, they're going to take up some real estate, and we've all got lots of dice towers sitting around. But, you know, a cool accessory if you've got a 3D printer. So that's it for this week. Again, 10 Helm. Click the link, check it out. It's my #1 choice for this week based on price, what I think you'll get out of gameplay, and price specifically because it's for the crowd sale. Again, normally Game Crafter a little expensive for what you get, but during a crowd sale like this, it's just a really good item. So I say back that, and then I will see you guys next week for the next roundup. All right, take care.